A wise man once said, fear will cause hesitation. Hesitation will cause your fears to come true.
Nice.
Thank you. Welcome back to Brother to Brother, your 80s and 90s sanctuary for your movies reviews. Oh God, I'm so excited. Point Break, 1991?
1991, mate, aye.
Fuck, it's not your birthday. Every fucking review has been Predator, Commando, whatever it was. Fucking, 87, like...
I probably just deafened every...
Let's celebrate 10 hours
I probably just deafened every listener there with me fucking laugh.
Fuck me, mate. Seriously, go Point Break, 1981. Jesus. Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves.
Aye.
Gary Busey.
Before going any further, should we go do a bit of correspondence?
Go on.
This is Carl. I'm Nicki. You can contact us on Twitter via @B2B Moviepod. You by all means tweet us, like us, retweet us, whatever it is you want to do. Follow us, please. Or you can contact us via email at B2B Moviepod. You can probably see how like intense this is for me this moment. You can email us at b2bmoviepod@gmail.com.
Is it getting too much for you?
It's not getting too much for us, mate.
You alright?
I'm alright, I'm good.
Oh.
Or you can check us out on YouTube, hence this video, at Brother to Brother 80s 90s Movie Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell so you can be first to know when a podcast has gone live.
Sorry, was there any more?
There was more. You can check us out on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and any other good podcast vendor.
We are so accessible.
We are very accessible, all for free as well. That's the beautiful thing about it, mate.
Just standing for a Twitter, asking to be loved.
So them, it's like if you're stood, like you're a bit down and that, you know, if someone goes, do you want a free laugh?
Well, you wouldn't say no.
You wouldn't say no. So just click on our podcast.
If you went in the shop and you had a trolley and you were on the fucking, and you seen on the shelf free laughs, would you put it in the trolley?
Right, you would. Rollback. As a rollback, free laughs. Get them here. Sure. Brother to Brother 80s 90s Movie Podcast.
So Point Break, 1991, Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze is the coolest man alive in this film.
He is like R.I.P. to Patrick Swayze again. Obviously, we paid homage to him in the last one, Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
For Sweet, I say this, he's the epitome of an alpha male. Like regards, that's just the voice, the tone. He's just the boy.
He is.
I'm straight, by the way. Like, it's the blonde bunts as well, though. Do you know what I mean?
Mate, I think he looks cool as out. I'm not really one for like long hair and that.
But it makes you want to have long hair.
It does. This is one of those films that makes us think. Yeah.
It makes you. I want to buy some hair dye. I want to go in. I want to grow my hair. Yeah. I want to go and buy a surfboard. I want to go some surf lessons. Yeah. For me, I want to go and learn to swim.
It does. It's one of them though. Like I suffer from, undiagnosed. Like, but I suffer from thalassophobia, which is basically fear of the ocean.
All right.
So when I was going into this film, just quickly, I had this like feeling like, is there going to be a lot of film scenes in this film where I'm like scared, because I generally am scared of the ocean, and they did it in a way where I wasn't. Like seriously, like towards the end, which we'll get to later, I was a little bit, but for someone who suffers, like genuinely suffers from thalassophobia, I was fine.
What, the way they shot this movie?
Yeah.
You never know.
Like, I don't get us wrong. It made us want to go surfing. At the same time, I'm still never going to step foot in the ocean. Do you know what I mean? That's why that flow rider is like a good shout.
Yeah, I hope some of the listeners / viewers seen the poster and had a chuckle at
aye, that was
the old Utah Bodhi.
Yeah, that was a great little effort from me. He calls me Phoenix, but he's the poster creator, so
aye.
It's a great poster.
Just love movies, mate. Grew up on them. Do you know what I
mean? Have you ever been on that? And I'm good, mate. Oh, you actually give us them?
I was not. When you want that?
I've got a packet there. Have you ever been to Flow Rider? Flow Rider, by the way, is just basically like this automatic wave that you can kind of go to, like a leisure centre or something.
If you're in the UK, there's only a few in the UK. It's basically like it's like on a descent, like a ramp thing. So you would go up the side. You got a bodyboard. It's mainly it's aimed at kids, but parents can go on it as well.
Is it aimed at kids? Because you can promote yourself to like surfboards and that. You can like.
Probably a good stepping stone.
Yeah.
And it broke my neck. Like I took my son Charlie, bless him. But Charlie was a little natural on the bodyboard.
Oh, was he?
I was.
Oh, mint.
I even like tweeted it out saying like,
okay.
hashtag Bodhi and all that. Like, do you know what I mean?
Aye,
Charlie used to have the long
class,
blonde hair when he was younger. I proper surfed with.
We should go, man. We should go.
Alright, but I went on it and they broke my neck.
I did, to be
A
fair.
few parents were laughing, but
My
but how funny is that? Sorry, Nick, to cut you off. I'll let you go back away. How funny is that though? I'm taking videos, pictures of the bear on the bodyboard and that, and I'm thinking Point Break. That just shows
your dedication.
Well, how much like films can imprint themselves on like on people's minds. Like, so I thought as soon as like surfboards were involved, I thought Point Break, like Bodhi. Do you know what I mean?
100%. Just quickly before we get any further, I didn't watch it till yesterday morning. It was the first time I'd seen the film. So before we go any further, apologies if my feedback here isn't the best. Thoroughly enjoyed the film, but I didn't see it the first time yesterday. So all the time, I enjoyed it. All the times I've been to Florida, the last thing on my mind was obviously Point Break.
Aye, class film. So we'll start off. Obviously, we know that we've got Patrick Swayze as Bodhi, Keanu Reeves as Johnny Utah, who's a copper.
What a name!
Johnny Utah.
Johnny Utah.
Oh, yeah.
I think you put Johnny in front of any name, it's unreal.
Yeah.
Aye, I do.
Johnny Price doesn't work.
Johnny Price doesn't. Johnny Price doesn't. But if I was to say my name is Johnny Podcast, you'd be like, "Fucking hell, he sounds like me." Do you know what I mean?
Johnny Acker. Johnny Acker works.
Johnny Acker.
Johnny Acker works.
My name is Johnny Podcast.
Fair enough. So they're the two main players, obviously Swayze,
who's Bodhi, Keanu Reeves, who's Johnny Utah.
The two best effing names for me, like,
Johnny Utah
in two lead roles.
What does he get called later? Like Alpha Bodhi or something, isn't it?
Who does Bodhi do?
I don't know, mate. I was meant to look at that before we start this podcast, but as standard, we just wing it. We just wing it.
So another player, Gary Busey. I love Gary Busey.
Pre-accident.
Aye, Gary Busey, obviously. Did he have a big crash later on?
Sorry, there's a fucking dog here there. Without going into too much detail, he basically like went out and wherever he was, no helmet, had an accident and caused himself some...
Just a quick one, Gary Busey, Lethal Weapon, Joshua, he's in Siege.
He's in loads.
Big Brother.
He's in Big Brother. He was also on...
He won Big Brother, you know? Just for the record.
I did.
For the record,
to be fair, I watched that season.
Reality TV show.
I watched that season. He was also on, for the wrestling fans out there who have watched Legends House on the network, he featured in that very briefly. And he actually, it was like Roddy Piper and Hacksaw Jim Duggan and all them.
Just a quick one, Roddy Piper, obviously R.I.P., but he did They Live, a class Stephen King film, not Stephen Hawking.
Not Stephen Hawking, no?
No.
Oh, okay.
Continue.
And when he was in the like Legends House on the network, the WWE network, he did his like you know his goose. Sometimes you gotta love a goose.
He done that in the Big Brother house as well.
I know, that's what
he was teaching Lauren Godgas. How do you say her name?
I me and like
she's nice, Lauren Godgas. We should tag her.
Nah, me and my lass used to fucking piss myself at fucking Busey. It's so good, man. So when he obviously featured in Legends House, I was like, there's Gary Busey, and then he hit that. I was creased.
Funny as fuck.
Oh my god!
Do you remember the scene in Big Brother where like he was clashing heads with that guy from Strictly Come Dancing?
Oh yeah,
the Brad Pitt at the pub. He walked in the room and went, stand up. It was. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember. I do actually. I didn't like that guy. He thought he was like above his station, didn't he?
He's got a tiny bird as well.
She was in like
Yola. She's called Yola.
She was in the following season, something, wasn't she?
What's he called, man? People be screaming it that way.
Will they? Celebrity Big Brother? I don't think it's that popular.
Oh, my bad. Like Point Break. The synopsis of Point Break. You've obviously got Bodhi.
Synopsis. Sorry.
Synopsis of Team Carl, Team Nicki on that one. Let me know. So you've got Bodhi, obviously the fucking king of the fucking underground surf world or whatever you call it.
At the start of the film, though, you don't know that, do you?
But no, for me, we talked about this earlier. I thought the opening scenes that was Bodhi on the waves.
Because you've seen the film.
No, you've seen it now as well.
Now I've seen it.
No, but even though I've seen it years ago and I watched it before, I was thinking that is Bodhi, and then it was showing you Johnny Utah in the shooting range.
Yeah, but going in as a fresh eyes, I knew it was a surfing film. That's all I knew.
Right. Okay.
So when it showed you random surfers.
Oh, right. So you didn't know. Right, I get you.
Yeah. So when obviously it showed you random surfers, I just thought, yeah, it's random surfers having a bit surf. Do you know what I mean? That's all I thought that scene was.
Right.
But as Carl's going to say there, from the inside looking out, you know it's Bodhi.
Aye.
And his little.
I think it's giving you the comparison, the contrast. Like obviously Bodhi out there on the water. Yeah. Johnny Utah at the shooting range. He's gonna be the hunter.
Yeah.
So to speak.
This is why you should always watch films more than once, though, because.
Well, you do. A lot of people watch films and they do watch them a few years later.
I didn't know going in that was Bodhi, but obviously because you've seen it, you knew it was Bodhi. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
So this is why you should always watch films more.
When I watched, like obviously Keanu on the shooting range, like I watched him not long ago on YouTube doing the shooting range for John Wick 3.
Nah, you sent it to me, didn't you? That video.
Aye, fucking shit hot on the fucking range. Like.
It must be good fun, like.
It must be, mate. The training and that.
The Halle Berry with the dogs fall out boot and that.
I'm glad you mentioned Halle Berry, like, because a lot of people like Halle Berry, right?
Because of the Flintstones.
Well, or Last Boy Scout. But Last Boy Scout, you can't even want to review. Not the Flintstones.
So the Flintstones, okay.
Maybe it's the cartoons we ever watched, but no, and I was reviewing
Point Break.
Yeah, but Halle Berry, man, training with them dogs in John Wick 3. Oh,
it is awesome, mate.
It's awesome. But you've seen the training video, and I've seen obviously the film. Unreal.
Yeah, I haven't seen the film yet.
Unreal.
Just for the people listening, probably thinking, hey, why is he doing movie reviews if he hasn't seen any of these films? I wait and watch it in the comfort of me home because of other people's cinema etiquette. If you haven't already listened to what other podcasts about cinema etiquette, like that genuinely is enough to put me off going. I would rather sit in the comfort of my own home. I've got a big enough telly, and I can just enjoy myself. Do you know what I mean? Without these other arseholes. We'll not go into it. Check my cinema podcast out if you want to listen to that kind of stuff. But yeah,
right, no, that's totally like you just said. Totally.
Totally.
No, you're right. Like, a lot of people would rather just be. I remember one of my old mates. He was like, pictures, man. He was like, you can't move, you can't find. Nah. He was like, I'd rather watch it in the comfort of my own home. Do you know what I mean? So,
what was that? What was that? Tom Hardy quote. Tom Hardy quote.
There's nothing more. I thought the word was satisfying. Than shutting your own front door and being able to eat what you want in front of you in the comfort of your own home.
Yeah, that's that. Like, it's along those lines and it's perfect.
It's true. It's like
the second you close your own front door,
you become your own the version of you.
You can be whoever you want.
Aye.
Like there's no eyes, there's no judgment, there's nothing. It's just you, your film, your food, whatever your blog, whatever your pleasure is.
Should we get Tom Hardy on the show, Martin?
Well, he keeps texting us, but I'm sick of him. I'm sick of him if I'm honest. Tom Hardy.
Okay. So no, Tom. Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
I love Tom Cruise.
To be fair, it'd be good to have someone on the podcast that isn't taller than us.
I love.
And I think Tom Cruise is probably the only one.
I think Tom Cruise was actually no. I'm not gonna slide Tom Cruise off because you just never know in the future. I love Tom Cruise.
So obviously it starts off Johnny Utah. He's the FBI.
He's a cop.
There's like UPS man again.
He's a cop.
He's a cop trying to be in the FBI, and he gets 100% in the shooting range, which is obviously what we're talking about.
Like there's a guy timing him, like whatever, like.
Which obviously why we're talking about John Wick 3 there, and then obviously he gets in the FBI. He meets his boss, which is Ben Harp, John C. McKinley of Scrubs.
I was going to say, he's comedic role in that, isn't he? Total, like, serious. No, he's really comedy in this, actually.
It's funny, actually, because you can kind of see a little bit of his Scrubs character.
Coming out?
Aye, a little bit.
It's as if you wanted to go to comedy all along.
Aye. Like, the only thing missing when he's talking to Utah at the start of the film is him calling him a girl's name. That is the only thing missing. What the hell is he called? Dr. Cox. That's what he's called on Scrubs. Dr. Cox.
Is he?
Aye, Dr. Cox, aye. So obviously from there, he basically tears down fucking Utah, and then Utah finally meets his new partner, which is
Busey.
Gary Busey.
Angelo
Papas.
It's a funny name, isn't it?
It is.
Especially when he's like fucking white American guy. Like, why the fuck's he called Angelo Papas?
Angelo Papas. It isn't a very, well, yeah, 100%.
It's just a mad sort of
name.
For Gary Busey. Weird.
So he's blindfolded anyway, and he's absolutely laying into Keanu Reeves, Johnny Utah. He's calling him like, what did he call him again? A quarterback punk. And what did he say? Sorry, so what did he say again? I've written my notes here. Johnny Unitas or something like that, did he? I called him Johnny Unitas, and then he takes his like blindfold off, and there's Keanu Reeves stood in front of him, and he goes like, Angelo Papas, like that, and he goes like, what does he say? He actually introduced himself as I'm the quarterback punk. Class.
Does he?
He does.
Johnny Utah does.
Johnny Utah does. Class. Unreal. He goes, I'm Angelo Papas, and Reeves, Johnny Utah says, I'm the quarterback punk, like that. Unreal. So good, and that's obviously when Beauty hits his line. Had to quickly get this in there before Carl goes on one, and he goes, "Welcome to SeaWorld, kid." I love that. That is such a good line.
It goes on, you know.
Me and I like. Some people like the glasses, yeah.
So do I.
Then obviously from there, that's when it goes to the bank robbery scene.
Obviously, I love this quick one.
The ex-presidents.
Ex-presidents, obviously Swayze, Bodhi and co, like robbing the bank. But they make a point of like saying we are the ex-presidents. And we're like sort of taken from you, like as if it's the norm, like you should be used to it. President's taken from the American citizens.
That's what he says. You should be used to it by now. Yeah, he does. He does say that. Yeah, he does.
But it looks class, though, doesn't it? Them masks. It's like Ronald Reagan.
There's a few.
Bush.
Is Bush one of them? Ronald Reagan. I know.
Bush.
I can't. Richard Nixon. Is it Richard Nixon?
Nixon.
Richard Nixon. Because that was the one that does the impressions in it. Every time he speaks, does the Nixon impression.
I'm not a fraud or something like that.
He does the Nixon impression. He finds out. And just quickly as well, we'll mention that as they leave, one of them pulls a Mooney, and it says like "thank you" on his ass.
That's like a pivotal or integral part of the
storyline.
It is.
You don't think it at the time though.
I know. See, from there, the Utah and Angelo bonding, but you said about the car.
Because I think that's an important part. I think that's an important scene. Like, so obviously them two young coppers come in, and then Ben Hart, John C. McGinley's like, oh, we found the burn car, whatever they call it. So Johnny Utah's like, oh, we'll go see that. So him and Angelo go and see it, and he's like searching in that. And Angelo Papas is like trying to get him away from the car, and like saying, "The ghost, man, just leave the ghost." And I proper thought like,
right now he's trying to get him off the descent.
He's trying, as if he's trying to get away from the car. As if say, just leave it. And I thought.
Oh, actually, I said to you when we were watching it earlier, because sometimes we watch it separately, but then we'll have a little thing together, don't we?
A refresher.
I said it was a great little scene, like where they're both like volatile towards each other.
But. So I thought straight away that scene screamed dirty cop.
Is the viewer.
Yeah. Like, I thought why is for the first time seeing it, I thought why is Busey trying to get him away from the car? The ghost, man, just leave it. And they have this screaming match, don't they?
The ghost.
They have this screaming match, and Keanu's like, "Don't you feel alive?"
Like that. Now that you're chasing the Kennedy.
Now that you're so angry, don't you feel alive? I think it's a brilliant scene.
It's like Keanu like sort of renews ignites the fucking flame again, like the fire.
He does, but at the same time as going in like fresh eyes, I kind of thought like, that's a dirty cop. Honestly, I did.
You can be forgiven for that, like, because sometimes you can typecast people and you realise Busey's been a bit of a dodge part in other films.
It's one of them though, but it's one of them though as well. Though, when you go in with film fresh eyes, you kind of like want to be ahead of it. You kind of want to, when the film finishes, say, I knew that was going to happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of I wanted to say that I knew from the start that Busey was dirty.
Because there was a lot of bonding.
Yeah.
That's what it goes back of the office. Back of the office.
The bonding scene.
Like, saying, this is what's going to be happening, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
You got Angelo jumping on top of desks and that, like, giving the outlet, we're going to be surfing.
Well, both of them do it, didn't they? Both of them do that surfing scene. Hit it. Both of them hit with the outfit, surfing, like, nah. And they're like having a proper bonding moment. Aye.
Utah going on a cover training, what's that?
Well, that's because obviously they have the bonding moment, and that's when.
Is that when he?
Because Busey tells Keanu Reeves that look the surfers. But he tells them that on the mountaintop next to the car. He said, look, if you want me information, the surfers, then they go to the office, have the bonding moment, pretend they're surfing and that, and that's when they decide that Johnny Utah is going to go undercover.
Right.
And then obviously the next scene, I'm pretty sure...
There's him and Tyler.
Well, he buys a surfboard and then, he goes surfing, basically.
So we've got Laurie Petty as Tyler. Laurie Petty has been in a few films. She was in A League of Their Own, which I seem to bang on about, which is women playing baseball with Tom Hanks. Do you remember that? Miss Bang about one?
Sounds unreal. No, I don't.
Aye, seen it twice at the picture.
Lauren Petty. Is she related is she related to Tom Petty?
No, I think Petty's why Tom Petty. Free Falling. Free Falling, good song. Jeremy Maguire. She was also in one called Tank Girl or something like that, but she's been in other films and anything. But aye.
This is a funny moment, right? Because 1991.
Sounds hilarious.
Thanks, mate. 1991, she might have been this like goddess or something. But when I first seen her, I thought I expected better from like the main woman of the film.
For some reason, I look at I thought you had like one of them fucking Dick Tracy hats on. Do you remember that film, Dick Tracy with Madonna?
No.
Well, I'll talk his language about Love Island.
Fucking talk my language.
Do you remember him?
They fucking lowered themselves at my level.
Do you remember that dark guy, man?
Which one?
Love Island, man. He was kind of like with India. Alright. India, it's you. Alright. What's it called
India?
again? Ovi. Remember Ovi's hats?
Oh, India, man. Oh, aye, right, okay.
Ovi's hats, man.
Ovi's hats,
A gangster kind of hat.
Aye.
I just had a vision. You have like a gangster hat on there when I was talking to you.
A gangster. Oh, like a trilby.
Aye,
Like a, wah, say.
Aye, one of them. Forgot I had the morning fly hat on.
Ovi. Aye.
So, Johnny Utah is
Shout out to Ovi.
Johnny Utah's doing a bit of training with Tyler, who is Laurie Petty.
Aye, she teaches him how to surf. Well, he goes to a place of work, because just quickly, he goes to the FBI, didn't he? And finds out a little bit about her. Finds out that her mum and dad passed away in a car crash in '84.
Aye,
so that when he meets her, he can give himself a backstory that kind of like sinks into hers.
That's what he does, didn't he? Was that not true, by the way?
No, because he says later on. Spoiler alert. We'll get there eventually.
I watched Point Break, by the way. It was just a case of
he likes to test me as the podcast goes on. So he goes to where she works, plants a seed, and then she says, "Look, I'll teach you. Once you can kind of stay on the board a bit, you're by yourself."
Yeah.
But he's got that shit board, which obviously we don't know what's a shit board. But
it seems to be a common thing that about the board, like surf training commences. Well, that's what I've got. Surf training commences with Tyler.
No, but yeah, she teaches him how to surf, and obviously that's when he has his first taste of Bodhi. Because they get out of the water, and then Bodhi comes over, doesn't he?
Oh, Bodhi waves. He's searching for the ride.
Yeah.
And she's like, "What?"
And
he's like, "What's the ride?" Like Johnny Utah.
Yeah, that's what it gives you the impression that there's more to this surfing gig than just getting in the water and hitting a ride. It's obviously like a lifestyle.
And they're looking for the 50th ride. Oh, he's looking for the 50th ride, isn't he?
Yeah. The 50-year storm.
So that's when you have the little meet cute with Bodhi and Johnny Utah, where he sort of approaches Tyler.
Meet cute.
From behind, isn't it?
I guess right from behind. And
they
start kissing as well.
I think I was just him like trying to like show like look like he's an alpha male kind of.
It's obviously his tart, isn't it?
At that time. Previous tart.
Yeah.
Tart. Aye. And then it's an iconic football scene on the beach.
Oh yeah, it's a great scene. That like you could see obviously as well. Johnny Utah is obviously ex-football, isn't he? Johnny Utah is actually.
Oh, that's because I put a loose ball and he catches it, didn't he? Mm-hmm. He catches it and he spins it on his finger.
Yeah.
And Bodhi's like thinking,
good
catch.
No, he says, didn't he? Because that guy starts him.
He catches it and he spins it on his hand and Bodhi's like, good catch.
Aye, that's right.
So next thing you know, like, they're in a shot, they're doing a match on the beach kind of thing. They've got the cars lined up with the headlights on.
Yeah.
And that's like sort of giving them the light, obviously.
They have an American football game. Not quite as intense as Lock Up, but they do have an American football scene.
Check out the podcast, Lock Up, Slice Alone.
Amen. which eventually ends with Bodhi's on a run, little Maisie, and Johnny Utah wipes him out in the ocean.
Little maze running. Utah's doing his own little sort of tracking little.
Aye.
And he just wipes him out.
Wipes out in the ocean, and that other kid starts on Johnny Utah. And that's
what's wrong with you, man? What the hell's wrong with you?
Aye.
And he's like, hey, man, don't you know who this is?
Aye, yeah.
This is Johnny Utah.
This is Johnny Utah, and then Johnny Utah gives a little speech, which is apparently, according to my research, Joe. I shouldn't know his name.
Joe who?
Like a legendary American quarterback story. How have I forgot his name?
So, what's that McFadden one? No, Madden. John Madden.
John Madden.
Not him, is it?
Nah.
I'm fucking sick of that when I was younger. John Madden, American football. Probably a legend in America. And if he is, which I think he is, heel John Madden.
Can't ever forget his name. Joe.
It'll come back, man. Some of the director have run, man. I'll come back to you.
True that.
Catherine Bigelow directed this film, by the way.
She did. Who at the time was married to James Cameron.
Who is obviously responsible for Terminator, Titanic, and that.
Yeah.
And Avatar.
Aye. She's not married to him now, I don't think.
Split up?
I ain't gonna split up. I don't know why. We'll probably Google it, to be fair.
Never rule out a reconciliation, guys. Never rule it out.
No. Love's forever.
Tis true.
Mate, I'm gonna have to Google that call back because I'm never gonna remember it.
What?
Nah.
Just do it, man. Just do it.
That's it. I'll be like, oh, fucking course it is.
The viewers don't want to be real, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Keep talking, mate. You keep talking.
Right, so I'll put my gigs on, family.
Joe Montana? Hey.
Well, I only took Montana and that's Tony. Eh?
I bet it is Montana.
You know.
Joe Montana, man. I saw Joe Montana's backstory was Johnny Utah's.
Was it?
Alright.
Utah punched in the water. So that must fast forward. I've seen Utah's training in the water, surfboard, gets cracked by one of these.
Well, just quickly, judge like that. Ben Harp grills Keanu Reeves and Beauty Firstly because they've got a surfboard and that. They walks to the FBI with a surfboard and George McGinley's like grilling them like, what the hell you got a surfboard for and all that kind of shit.
What the cop off Fame Scrubs?
Right.
Yes.
Dr. Cox.
But he's undercover, you know what I mean? He couldn't fit in his car. So.
Well, yeah, that was what we said. Because Busey says you cannot left that in your car. So, well, none and lock it. Basically, you know what I mean? Aye.
So that's when the Utah and Brody have a brawl with them kids for the shower scene.
Aye. So obviously, basically, like Johnny Utah gets in somebody's way in the ocean.
He's having the most. So he gets a crack in the ocean.
So it's one of those things though with surfers and skaters. To be fair, probably more surfers. Like I know a lot of surfers don't like people on bodyboards because they get in the way. Do you know what I mean? Like they're trying to catch a wave or whatever, and as they're catching a good wave, there's some chunk on a bodyboard. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure there's like a bit of a rivalry there between bodyboard. I'm not saying that there's anyone on bodyboard in this film. I'm just saying though. So I think obviously Keanu Reeves obviously a learner, so he's obviously going about it in like a learner way, and this real surfer kind of is going along, and he hits Keanu Reeves, Utah, and obviously kicks off.
Johnny Utah.
Nice. So Johnny Utah gets out, has a wash, and then this guy who is interrupted.
Looks like the most refreshing shower in the world, by the way.
It does. And his cronies attack Johnny Utah. One of which cronies is Anthony Kiedis from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Aye. And he was in another film not long ago, or was it a different one?
It wasn't long ago. At that time, it would have been not long ago, but he was
in Back to the Future?
No, that was Flea. From Red Hot Chili Peppers. So Back to the Future 2.
So that was two people from the same band?
In two different films. But Anthony Kiedis as well was in a film called Fist. With Sly Stallone. Apparently he played Sly Stallone's son in Fist. F-I-S-T.
Fist?
I've not seen it.
I'm not Over the Top.
I've not seen Fist, but yeah.
Over the Top, not for that one.
So then he has a fight with this little crew.
So he's getting filled in, sorry. Can I take over? He's getting filled in. We're going to do you, Johnny. We're going to do you. And then Bodhi comes from nowhere, starts filming it. No, Bodhi doesn't start filming him straight away. Bodhi sort of says that he's with me, man. He's with me. Mm-hmm. And they sort of respect Bodhi. But then Johnny Utah says, I'm glad you turned up to one of them. And he just fucking lamps one. That it just escalates into a brawl. Bodhi gets involved, sorry, and they end up fighting and that, don't they?
And just the finishes, Angelo Papas, Busey arrives.
Aye, but he has to go into like
So he apparently he's like an old guy looking for some random.
aye, he has to go into character, doesn't he? Like witness protection. Like, do you know what I mean? Has to have a story. Like he's looking for a dog and that.
Yeah, that's right, aye. And then Carl Reed's like directs it to like basically them little kids that he's just filled in.
So from there, Keanu gets invited to a party from Bodhi. Which it's like it's warming up now. It's like
That's when you know he's kind of been accepted.
aye, definitely.
Definitely.
I've got from there. I've got 50th storm coming, so there must be like talking about the 50th storm at that point.
My notes say Bodhi tells Wave story. So yeah,
Comes around every
well that's when he hits that ultimate quote. Causing a meltdown on camera.
It took about 10 takes, and he's fucking bringing it up now.
No.
Hesitation is fear.
No, it's not that
Fear is
one.
hesitation. I don't know. That was wrong anyway. But
He hits that ultimate quote, and he's like
what's the ultimate quote? What do you mean?
I'll Google it. I'll Google it while we're talking
My
nonsense.
glasses are going on and off here.
Ultimate quote. Point.
Bodhi, Utah,
Look at you with your face on camera.
catching waves.
If you want the ultimate, you've got to be willing to pay the ultimate price. It's not tragic to die young. It's not tragic to die doing what you love. That's it.
Christ, I would never remember that. Like Jesus.
So if you want the ultimate, you've got to be willing to pay the ultimate price. It's not tragic to die young doing what you love.
This is an interesting part after this, right? Obviously, you've got Bodhi and Utah having a bit bond on the waves and that, right? But after that, they're off out on the beach. It's Utah and Tyler left in the water.
Aye.
And Tyler says something to him. Like, you've always got a permanent scowl on your face. You always look like you're
Analysing something.
You're analysing like as if you've got a school project that needs done, kind of thing.
Not a bit school project, yeah.
Which basically means he's a fucking cop.
Yeah.
He's fucking, he's doing it. Do you know what I mean?
There's obviously suspect that he's obviously, yeah.
There's just something he's always got something in his mind.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? From there you got the house raid. Well, he sleeps with her. He obviously sleeps with her and that.
That's what they have kissing the water and that, eh?
Aye, they obviously sleep with her. He wakes up on the beach the next day and that. And he's late for work, but
Cause that was basically when he got accepted into the crew because Bodhi gives him a surfboard. Because obviously when he had a fight with that little crew, they snapped his shitty surfboard. So Bodhi gives him a proper like lush, like sleek black one. And then they go late night surfing. Sorry for being late at the party here. And then he doesn't meet, but that's when him and Tyler have a big kiss. End up fucking having sex on the beach or whatever, wake up, he's late for work. Blah, 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 blah.
that horrendous tune popped in my head there. I want to have sex on the beach.
Jesus. You mean horrendous tunes, unreal?
No, it's correct.
Yeah, so then obviously from there, because obviously Utah's had a bit of running with that little group, he assumes that they're the ex-presidents, because there's 4 of them.
Oh, the formation on the water.
No. He was attacked, wasn't he? Because he put in the one that attacked him while he was having a shower.
Oh, sorry, when you got that
and there was 4 of them, so he thinks, well, there's 4 of them, there's 4 ex-presidents, and these are arseholes. These must be the guys, because in his mind he's thinking it can't be Bodhi. So then, therefore, they raid the house of these 4 chums.
Aye. That's when you got that lawnmower scene outside.
That's when you get the lawnmower scene, yeah.
Aye, there's Johnny Utah's like obviously patrolling the house outside and that, and he's about to like jump in, and the guy next door starts like starting his lawnmower. It's horrendous, isn't it?
So annoying.
And he pulls his gun like thinking he has to shoot someone, but it frustrates the life out of us actually, because I feel like just fucking such his fucking lawnmower.
Aye.
But when you're in that moment, I imagine you can't really...
But it's one of them though, he's unaware that there's a raid going on next door, so he's like mowing his lawn, like, you think though, like the FBI would be like, do us a favour mate, fucking turn that off, will you? Because I can't hear me handset, I can't hear me walkie-talkie. Do you know what I mean?
He ends up in a brawl, didn't he, with one of them outside and that, and he's got his head like towards the lawnmower.
Johnny Utah's about to get his face like mangled, and then Angelo Papas Busey shoots the lawnmower so it doesn't work anymore. And then he's what does he say? He shoots the lawnmower so it doesn't work anymore. And then he points the gun at the bad guy, so to speak. And he says, what does he say? I've got it down in my notes here. Oh, I fucking absolutely butchered this, haven't I? I had it right there.
Sorry?
Oh, there. Actually, he points a gun at his face and goes, "Speaking to the microphone, squid brain." Fucking class.
Oh, you love that line, that's why you wanted to get it right.
That's why I wanted to get it in
Bless
there.
you. And obviously you see a little support from Tom Sizemore. Tom Sizemore, who we were banging on about in the previous podcast, in Lock Up.
Very brief.
He had a bigger role in Lock Up, like...
Much bigger. I thought...
Lock Up was years before, obviously, because it was the 80s, wasn't it?
I thought when I seen Sizemore, he was going to, like, feature again later, because it's who he is. And I see him in Lock Up and that. This was later on. So I thought he must have, like, a role to play in later on.
It was nothing, was it?
Nah. Like, literally just didn't have a part to play. Didn't have a fucking part to play, which I thought was mad. But basically what it was, is Sizemore was there because he's been undercover for 3 months following these like, guys. And Keanu Reeves, Johnny Utah, because he's raided his house, blows everything. Basically, he blows his cover, blows the fact that he's had his operation on the go, blah blah blah, and obviously he gets into shit for that as well.
From there, that's where you got that beach scene, which you like in particular, where Utah's at the beach with Tyler, and he's looking out at Bodhi with his crones on the waves.
Oh yeah, right.
And like you said, they seem to be in unison, don't they?
Yeah, they all seem to be going at the same time in unison and blah blah blah, and like.
Because at this moment Johnny Utah's torn between them people who just raided the house.
Yeah.
And these ghosts. Well, these ghosts are now becoming apparent.
He's having flashbacks and that as well, but you just saying, these guys are ghosts, man, these guys are ghosts. But they're all perfectly synchronized on the same wave. Like, they all know where each other's going to be. And then the crucial moment happens where that one guy gets his arse out.
Shows his backside.
Which, as was said earlier,
happens
and he gets his arse out, which is crucial later. Well, when the surfer gets his arse out as he's surfing a wave. And that's when Johnny Utah is like, these are the guys. I know that arsehole anyway. You know what I mean?
He makes his excuses and has to go, doesn't he?
Right.
That's when he sort of concurs with Angelo.
Aye. Which is berserk because Bodhi knocks on him at like 6 o'clock in the morning, something ridiculous like that. Yeah, I'm empty. Something ridiculous like that. Go get.
Alright, Jesus.
No, I'm just saying, if you want to get a beer, you can.
No, when I was the boss, yeah. I'll get the beers.
Aye, I've been the beers. Ever seen Mr. Deeds?
Yeah.
Good film.
That's it.
That's it, aye. Where's it go with that? So obviously the guy gets his arse out, and that's when he realises that obviously. Oh, yeah, that was what I was saying. Sorry. So Bodhi gets him up first thing in the morning, and then all of a sudden he's torn to Busey and it's nighttime. Do you notice that?
What was that?
Like Bodhi gets him up first thing in the morning.
Right.
Like it must be like 6 o'clock in the morning. Like in the morning, like it's like dusk. And then
this is fucking terrible. Oh yeah.
I would have spoon me. I just a spoon.
Oh, sorry.
And then by the time Utah speaks to Angelo, it's like nighttime, like dark. I kind of thought, like, why has it took that long to get in touch with, like, so no wonder Angelo like goes, why didn't you call me?
Aye. It's so intricate, man, in Point Break.
Aye.
So many like fucking ins and outs.
So he tells him the crack about how Bodhi's the guy. Basically, he says, look, I was with Bodhi all day. He's went to this bank. He's went in for 20 minutes. Such waiting in the car outside. They were obviously like analysing the situation. What do they call it? Something to joint.
I'm not sure, but I don't know where you're up to there. Right, sorry, because I was getting the beers. Basically, this is where Busey and Angelo and Johnny Utah are getting the bait. When he sends him, and you were like thinking he was dodging.
Yeah, but before we get to that point though, like, Johnny Utah pulls Angelo to one side and tells him, like, look, these are the guys. I went with them to the bank. They were obviously like analysing the situation. This is the bank they're going to hit, and they're going to hit it on this day because after they went to the bank, they packed the house up. So the house is empty and ready to go.
Right.
And then it goes to the scene where you've just said there. They sat outside the bank. Utah and
So they sat outside the bank.
I'll leave that with you, 2 seconds.
And actually Nick was talking about it earlier, actually, where he gives his little take on it. This is where he thought Gary Busey, Angelo, was like a dirty copper. Dirty cop, because as it was happening, he said he sent Johnny Utah for some bait. Like, get his 2 meatball like subs. That's what they look like. Like, the most may as well be like Subway sandwiches. So Johnny Utah's, which I still find a bit weird at this day. It's as if Johnny Utah is like The Apprentice or whatever. You know what I mean? He's that. For me, Johnny Utah is like the fucking boy in that. Do you know what I mean? So he'd be getting sent for like Sarnies was a bit, you know, what, below the belt or whatever. But anyway, and what makes it worse, he put the emphasis on the 2 sandwiches when he went for them. But then as soon as he went for that bait, Bodhi and his mates turn up in the car and they raid the bank. And this is happening, they're going in the bank with obviously the masks on, the presidents, and Johnny Utah's getting these like sandwiches and that. So welcome back. And sorry mate, what's and all. And I'm just saying, he's getting the sandwiches, and then in like behind you've got obviously
oh yeah, 2.
I've said that. You put the emphasis on 2 sandwiches.
he leaves the car and he goes, Utah 2.
you already put the emphasis on 2 in the car as well.
I know. I saw the way he shouts Utah 2.
Yeah, you sound like Busey there, mate. That's a good little impression. Exactly. So he takes the Sony back to the car, and then all of a sudden you've got fucking Swayze Bodhi like coming out the bank.
Aye. Because yeah.
And then they're just like, fuck. And that's because when
just quickly, because obviously like Angelo Busey doesn't notice the car pull up and he's buying the sandwiches because he's in the paper and he eating the paper, laughing at the cartoons and that. So the car pulls up, he doesn't notice it, and then he's like, "Oh, did you not notice that Lincoln pull up?"
So from there, that's when Utah pursues a chase.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a car chase first.
Well, he runs.
Utah's on his foot, and
he shoots him at first because one of the ex-presidents goes to shoot.
One
of the ex-presidents goes to shoot Utah, but obviously what you believe is Bodhi recognizes Utah, so he like hits the guy's like gun out the way and says, "No, leave it." They get in the car, scoot off in the car, and then obviously that's when Busey in Utah, Angelo and Utah like take chase, so to speak. So obviously there's like a little bit of a car scene, and the ex-presidents like burst the tires, end up pulling like a garage where this guy's like filling the car with petrol. There's like it's like flamethrower. They steal a car. Bodhi like sets fire to this car. He's taking too long. He's like dwelling on it a bit, and he's like stood there like all mighty with his flamethrower like. And then obviously like before he has a chance to get in the car and do one with the rest of the ex-presidents, Johnny Utah jumps over the thing and tackles him. He sets a light, so he burns all his suit. That was like important part where he burns all his suit, and then he manages to break free. And then obviously that's when you cue the scene where the car takes off, and Johnny Utah and Bodhi have this unreal, what you think is Bodhi, have this unreal little chase, don't they?
It's an iconic foot chase between Bodhi and Johnny Utah. He's obviously legging it off because they're wearing tuxedos, aren't they?
Aye.
Like,
the ex-presidents are.
I think they've all got like the tuxedos. So you've got like is Bodhi wearing Johnny Reagan? I'm sure he is.
Who?
Johnny Reagan.
Is it Johnny Reagan? Is it?
Oh, Ronald.
Ronald Reagan. Aye, that's it. Johnny. I was thinking Johnny.
Christ, he's rubbing off on us.
Because everything sounds better with Johnny.
That is hilarious.
So basically, Carl's thinking there, Johnny President.
That is hilarious.
How unreal is Johnny President, Sam?
Yeah.
Johnny Gladiator here, right in front of us.
So Ronnie Johnny.
So Brody's Ronald Reagan.
She's got the mask on, man. He's legging it off his tuxedo and that. Johnny Utah's like fucking not far behind him, is he?
Nah.
And I love them scenes. I was saying to Nicki earlier, like where the choreograph these fucking chases like over like back garden fences.
Unreal.
Yeah, stepping through paddling pools into someone's back door, someone's side door.
But there as well, because I remember I thought it was one of the most recent James Bond films where they had all this parkour in, and they were like jumping over fences and like running across this, that, and the other. There's a lot of like parkour-esque things in this, and where they're jumping over the fences and bizarre things like that. They run along the walls and that.
Parkour? What do you mean by
Parkour.
that?
Wall running.
I love that.
Nice parkour. It's called parkour.
Parkour.
You never heard of parkour?
No. For Point Break Horn.
Surf horn.
Surf horn. Point Break Horn, surf horn.
Surf horn.
I saw there's one bit where like Bodhi like gets a hold of a dog, didn't he? And he hides it to Johnny Utah.
Johnny Utah catches it and then
Drop kicks
it basically.
That is American football skills coming in.
It's not the best scene, it's not the best scene, but obviously the whole thing like breaks down. Fun fact, I'll get out now. That scene, obviously like Bodhi's wearing a mask, Swayze, and it isn't actually Swayze that films the scene with a mask on, because Swayze at the time was in Europe promoting Ghost.
Good fun.
Which is probably one of the most iconic Swayze films going.
We go there as well.
But I so that wasn't actually.
It's
Swayze
crazy these little stories you have like on film sets and that, innit?
Oh yeah.
Like you've got no idea like what's going on. Like, do you know what I mean? Like in these actors' lives and stuff. It's weird.
No, you do. You don't, sorry.
I saw that epic foot chase.
Aye.
It ends up at like some point where like obviously Swayze like hurls a wall as it can't make a 15-foot drop.
Aye, he hurts his leg, didn't he?
Well, Johnny Utah hits his leg.
Johnny Utah hurts his leg.
Like busts his knee.
I busts his knee, and he's got an opportunity though as Bodhi runs away and jumps over this fence
to shoot him.
Johnny Utah has an opportunity to shoot him, and he can't bring himself to do it because
they lock eyes, don't they?
Aye.
Like that's what it looks like. It comes to his face through the mask. His eyes are looking.
That was the moment where you kind of think like they both now know who each other is.
Aye.
And then
he just shoots in your.
And then Utah's just like, oh my, I can't shoot me mugger. Do you know what I mean? So he shoots the sky, like puts a full clip in the air, like
it's a good little moment.
Which is berserk, really, because that's a full clip of bullets into the sky. Like they've got to come down. Do you know what I mean?
How far does a gun shoot?
Well, I watch a show on Netflix called Forensic Files. Because I started watching it in Florida. If you haven't watched it, check it out. It's kind of short, to be fair. And this guy, like, I'm sure it's Forensic Files, shoots.
I'm laughing at your dog at the side.
Aye. So he's just sniffing around Arnie's ball.
Bless her.
I've got a pug, so she like sometimes snores.
It's a cute pug.
And this guy like shoots in the air just to like celebrate New Year, where it was like boom, and the bullet actually comes down like so far away and kills someone. Aye. So he puts like an entire clip in the sky, and then Buzz would have had to have come down somewhere.
That's mad, that.
Scary, aye.
That is really fucking weird.
So yeah.
Strong stuff.
Yeah.
So he gets away, Bodhi fucking legs it off.
Don't play with guns, kids.
No. What we'll go from there?
Bodhi runs off, and then obviously goes to Tyler, like kind of like fixing Utah, doesn't it? Like he's obviously had a fight with like Bodhi, and that's why he's all scratched and battered, and his knees knackered.
Aye.
So she's like fixing him up, and then that's when basically they go to sleep.
We must be at some skydiving scenes now.
Well, no, not yet, because obviously like they know Utah's a narc, and they have a bit of crack about it, like he's a fucking cop or whatever. And then it goes to Utah, who's asleep, and he's like asleep, and it shows you this gun coming through the room, which turns out to be Tyler, and she like fucking shoots like the pillow next to him.
Oh, this wench is
She's found his FBI badge in his pocket.
Aye, but just before, I don't know if this is before or just after, Angelo challenges Utah, didn't he? Like he says, like, you never miss when it comes to shooting.
Oh yeah,
he challenges his relationship with Bodhi.
Yeah,
like, is he getting too close to him?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Aye. Well then though, like,
which is bang on, really.
Aye, well he is. Like, I couldn't shoot somebody that looks as good as
No, he fucking
Swayze.
got a crush on Swayze.
Do you not?
On Bodhi, yeah, he looks.
Swayze looks.
It's something to do with the fucking the roots coming through the blonde bonds or something. It's just something, isn't
He
it?
just looks cool. I think he looks cool as fuck. He just oozes charisma, oozes machismo.
He's just got it's that voice, man. It's that tone, isn't it?
Nah, unreal.
Love Bodhi.
So obviously she shoots the pill next to him, knows it's an FBI agent, kicks off with him. It all kicks off because obviously I wrote down in my notes earlier because obviously he like uses the fact that her parents both died in a car crash as like his backstory to get in with her. What a scumbag!
It's a bit harsh, that.
A bit harsh. What a scumbag! So obviously, like when she realizes that he's an agent, he's obviously lied about the fact that that is the scene which I mentioned earlier where he says like, "Oh, they're both still alive. They live in like North Carolina or wherever it is."
Is this where Bodhi and Utah have like a bit of a face off, and I said about like poker face, like they're not admitting that they know each other.
Yeah, Bodhi. Well, she leaves. Tyler leaves, and then not long after, before he has a chance to like chase her because he's got a bad leg, Bodhi turns up and says, "Oh, just a guy. Like, let's go." Do you know what I mean? Like,
skydiving.
and they have that, like you say, like a poker face moment of like,
we're not going to acknowledge.
Yeah, like we both know, but we both don't know at the same time. Because at the end of the day, like Johnny Utah still doesn't know that was Bodhi because he had a mask on. Bodhi knows that it was Utah, but Utah doesn't necessarily know that it was Bodhi.
It's a funny one, isn't it?
Aye. So Bodhi's got to kind of like play along with it.
Class.
So basically, that is when Bodhi takes Utah skydiving with a crew, and they're all like having a laugh like they would do normally. So Bodhi like kind of thinks, "Oh, like they don't know it's me." Do you know what I mean?
It's well, it looks unreal, doesn't it? The skydiving.
It does.
Yeah, I was telling you, I'm going to do a skydive myself.
Yeah, I think you should tell listeners about this skydive and why you're doing it.
All right.
No?
No, I'll tell them. No. Yeah, obviously, I'm doing it for autism awareness, guys. I have a son who has a diagnosis of autism on the spectrum, little Charlie, bless him. And skydiving is something I've always wanted to do. It's quite a big thing, isn't it?
Like, I mean, massive. I've got so much respect for you for doing it.
And I've heard it's an adrenaline rush, and obviously the buzz of getting, like getting a sponsor for the beer and that, and it'll just be a buzz, man. You can get it recorded as well, man. But you could think
I'd be class that, mate. Like,
I might dye my hair blonde, like on our Bodhi. So, and I might take Nicki along, like,
Mate, I'm fucking more than happy to join you.
Do you know what I mean?
100%. I'm more than well.
You heard it, guys. Should Nicki skydive?
Mate, I'm more than happy to support the cause. When we talked about before, and I mentioned
no guilt trip.
I mentioned it to the band, and she was like, "Dad, I don't want you to skydive." Bless her. But all seriousness, so that is obviously like an amazing thing you're doing, mate. Like, fair play.
Cheers, mate. So I haven't got far to grow my hair. You need to grow your hair big time to get the Bodhi.
I do. I need to learn how to surf as well. Well, then though, because the land in the water, like I've got thalassophobia. I couldn't land in the water.
It's not Sully. We're not landing in the water.
Sweet.
So they have that skydive. They have a little bonding moment, don't they? Mid-air.
They do mid-air. Like, well, all of them as a group like hold hands, and the rest of the kind of crew like go off and like.
Do they do that like sort of?
They do that, don't they?
Which you can't really do mid-air, really, in skydiving.
And he's like going, pull the lever, and he's like, no, you pull the lever.
He pulls it.
He goes, okay. And then Utah like obviously glides down nicely. Then Swayze pulls his last second.
I love that.
Bodhi
just
pulls his last second.
He goes beyond the edge, doesn't he?
It literally comes out, slows him down just enough so he hits the water nicely, like crazy.
I love Bodhi. Like.
He's so cool. Like, watch Roadhouse, reviewed Roadhouse, and check that one out. But he's so cool in this film, and his hair and that, his beard, like his persona. He calls everyone brah. What's up, brah? I love that.
You can't do that, bro.
You can't do that, brah.
Is that when we get the video of Tyler tied up?
Alright, so the land have a big crack, this, that, and the other, and that, and obviously like Utah's buzzing.
So it comes from nowhere, doesn't it?
Adrenaline, and then obviously like Bodhi's like, "Oh, Utah, come over here," kind of thing. He shows him this like, he's got this little like mad little video player in his van, and he.
What the hell is it? Like Betamax or something?
Like it'd be some mad shit like that, and obviously it's Tyler tied up, and Rosie has got like a knife to her throat, and he goes, what does Bodhi say? You got so much time as a special agent in Utah, like that, and
Something about that's my insurance policy.
yeah, that's it. That's my insurance policy, special aid in Utah, and that's when like Utah like explodes and like pushes him against the van.
Aye.
He said, "Look, if you kill me, the girl dies." Do you know what I mean? Like he's boxed clever massively.
Aye, definitely.
Aye,
Definitely.
and that's obviously when they go to rob a bank. They rob another bank because obviously.
With Johnny Utah?
Johnny Utah basically has to do as he's told now, because if he doesn't, the girl dies.
He's on the edge, and he's thinking like
he's basically like
somebody's going to kill Tyler.
He's a puppet on the string trying to save Tyler's life. So they go to rob another bank, and this is the scene where Bodhi puts on a burned suit. So that's when you know that he was the president. You kind of knew anyway. But the fact that he put that burned suit on because it was burned because of the last like little chase they had, that was the confirmation that was him all along. Because you don't know which one Bodhi is because they've all got masks on, so he could have been any of them really up until this point, until he puts that burned suit on.
I love that scene. It's an epic scene. Standard sort of like robbery for them, but then they change it. He changes it. Bodhi like has a like sort of change in mindset because Johnny Utah's on the job. Let's go for the vault.
Aye. That maybe that's where the expression comes from. I've said that a few times, like go for the vault. I wonder if that's where it comes from.
But he deviates from like the usual protocol that they do. I don't know if he wants to look good or what, but so they do that, and they've got this undercover cop on the floor who's saying to some security guard, "Will you cover me if I am?" Do you know what I mean?
Who would you be in that situation? Who are you? Are you the police officer that wants to fight the bad guy?
I'm Johnny Utah.
What you do this for? Or are you the security guard? Like, just leave it, man. Just fucking leave it. Oh. Well, actually, saying that, after the cinema etiquette episode, I think it's quite obvious you're the copper.
Oh god, I'd fucking go out shooting dead bum.
Yeah, if you just lie on the floor and let them rob the place, you good? You survive.
I'd be like, you fucking robbing my TSB, you cunt.
TSB.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, saying that actually, I say that. I know what you would do because you the last episode, I'm pretty sure you were fighting somebody over the 20 quid out your bank, so it's the same thing.
That was a bit exaggerated, but aye. Funny. Classic. Did happen though.
Aye. And then obviously from that scene, Ben Harp comes in because obviously one of the ex-presidents gets shot by the copper. The copper dies because Bodhi shoots him.
Oh, aye, that guy from Scrubs kicking off.
Yeah, everyone does a shoot apart from Johnny Utah, and then obviously Ben Harp comes in, doesn't he?
Is this when he's having to go? Because obviously he's kicking off because Johnny Utah, but he's part of the fucking criminals, you know. So they've gone cuffed.
Aye.
They cuffed him, like thinking he's part.
Aye, that was right. Johnny Utah's actually handcuffed at this point because obviously he turned up with a shotgun in his hand.
Aye.
To see if he was going to rob the joint.
Busey like sort of has the crack, like he's undercover. He's obviously quite standing too far.
Yeah. He's
still like for his mate kind of thing.
Well, he says that he like don't let one of these. What did he say? Don't let one of these like coppers like book him like a black and white. Let me book him. That's what he says.
He takes him off in the car, didn't he?
Aye.
But before that, he smacks that guy. We're talking about that guy from Scrubs.
Aye, he laces him, didn't he?
Aye, he probably smacks him.
He goes, "Why didn't you lighten us?" or something like that, didn't he? And then he just goes, boom, knocks him out. And then
so he lets him off the cuffs, and then what happens from there?
They go to the airstrip where, because Johnny Utah knows where Bodhi's going from there, which is basically the airstrip, because so he can naff off to across any border, basically.
Right.
So they go there, Johnny Utah's there, and he's like hands up, like, "Look, I don't have any guns."
Oh, it's the second skydive scene.
Yeah. And then he goes, "I don't have any guns," and that, blah, blah, blah. And then obviously, he's like, "Look, like, Angelo's here, there's a gun on you, blah, blah, blah. Like, don't do anything daft." But little do they know, one of the surfer guys has actually gone in the shop. So, although Busey's here, Angelo Papas, there's a guy from Bodhi's crew.
They want to be shot earlier on.
And he just fucking blows Busey away. Kills Busey. It actually shoots Busey before Busey dies. He kills him and then shoots the other one.
Aye, then what's he called? Man? Then obviously Bodhi fucking pulls the gun on Johnny Utah and says again they're playing now.
Aye,
it's me, you, Johnny, till the end.
There's an awful scene though just before that where Johnny Utah's like, no.
I didn't like that, did he? Too much.
Aye. Very early 90s, I suppose. But he just shouts no for too long. If me and you were undercover cops, I'm not saying we're not, but if we were,
we could be,
and you got shot, I wouldn't be like no, and then run towards like oh, do you know what I mean? I would be like fuck,
a bit too much.
I'd be like fuck, and that'd probably be it.
So they're in the sky.
Sorry, yeah.
And Bodhi's trying to get the guy who's been shot, he's getting hooked up with his parachute.
I said because the guy who's been shot, I'm so cold.
He's got a Johnny Utah. What the fuck are you looking at?
Aye. I'm so cold, and you talk you're cold because all the blood's leaving your body.
Aye, but harsh.
Aye, he's harsh as fuck.
It wasn't worth it.
Aye, you're gonna die. Harsh, really harsh actually.
Had to be said.
And then
Swayze's think of all the margaritas you're gonna fucking the margaritas you're gonna drink and all that.
And then Swayze basically fastens money to him and throws him out the plane. And then Swayze's sat at the edge of the thing, we're just having a bit back and forth. And then Swayze goes, what did you say again? Adios amigo.
Because before that, Johnny Utah's saying, make the call, to say not to kill her, not to kill her, make the call, and he'll not do it. He fucking hides the walkie-talkie.
That's
walkie-talkie.
That's a massive moment after, which I totally left out. Yeah.
I had Utah. Yeah. Bodhi jumping.
Aye.
You said Bodhi did that.
Because Utah the entire time is basically trying to save Tyler. I forgot about that. Aye. So obviously he's trying to save Tyler, and he's saying to Bodhi, who basically Bodhi, who basically said look, unless I'm at a certain place at a certain time, kill Tyler.
Alright, what's that saying down there? That's gone. Where are we?
I don't know. We need to wrap it up quick in case that was a memory thing.
Alright, so
so obviously Keanu Reeves, Patrick Swayze jumps out the plane and says adios amigo, and that is actually him jumping out the plane.
I was saying did his own stunt.
He did.
He was
that particular one, yeah.
To be fair, he was on the set all the time, trying to make the cast do testosterone fueled fucking big fucking things, wasn't he, all the time?
Amazing.
A lot of skydiving and that.
Amazing that. I know that the director not tried to put a stop to it all, but that one particular scene, I say scene, it's just that one particular moment. Swayze, you see Swayze jumping out of a plane, and that is actually Swayze jumping out of the plane and doing actual skydive. So
when they land, fucking Utah's knees busted again.
Utah just jumps out of the plane near parachute.
Oh, that's a big thing.
Catches up to Bodhi, and they both ride it down together. And he bear hugs Bodhi, who eventually fucking pulls the parachute.
Unreal.
And literally just before they land, and then they both hit the floor quite hard.
He's fucking
Aye. And that's obviously when Rosie pulls up in his little 4x4
oh,
thing.
Jesus, I love this bit.
You know that 4x4? It reminds us of what was her name, man? In the 90s, she used to have that show, Challenger Annika or something.
Oh, I one of them.
I remember that little
TV Jeep thing.
That little Jeep thing. That's what it reminds us of. It just pulls up that little Jeep.
But how unreal is that little fucking top when she's running that white 90? Tyler. It's a nice little bit. I like it.
I didn't rate that from the start. My notes actually say some ugly bird saved his life.
This is no game. Well, man, check that podcast out. Yeah,
you expect a pure Schwarzenegger Amber moment, didn't you?
I was.
Ben Richards Amber. So then obviously so
Rosie fucked off.
Utah and Tyler reunite. Rosie fucks off with Bodhi. Well, actually, they don't fuck off. They go to that other guy first, who was kind of dying during the fall, and by this point he's dead. So they take the money that they attached to him off him, and then fuck off. And then you think that's the end of the film.
And this is where the beach scene.
And then also, it's obviously so long later because
Keanu's got long bonds.
Johnny Utah's hair's grown. He's walking along. He's in Australia.
Is that where it is?
It's in Australia. I'm sure it says Australia.
He's in Bodhi's on the beach, and his hair's a little bit shorter.
But he says that guy, doesn't he? Is there anyone out there? He goes, "You joking, man? There's no one out there," kind of thing. It's suicide or some shit.
And Bodhi's standing there.
He's like there. So someone's out there. and then you just see Bodhi stood there, and then he throws the ex-president's mask in front of him.
I love that. That's a good little moment.
Unreal, and have that back and forth. Carry on.
So he obviously pushes Bodhi, hides the mask on the floor. We obviously know where this is heading. This is the 50th wave, so to speak.
That you mentioned earlier.
And then they have a brawl, don't they? They just start scrapping in the water.
Because Bodhi doesn't basically want to, he doesn't want to rock between four walls. He says, look, I'm not the kind of guy, I'm not the kind of cat that's gonna, just waste away, behind four walls. Do you know what I mean? And all this kind of shit. Have a fight, and then, Utah handcuffs themselves together.
That's it. So you take him in, they got the coppers zoning in. Coming closer and closer.
Bodhi, basically pleads with them, essentially.
Let's go, let's ride this wave.
Let me ride this wave. And Utah kind of thinks, look, Utah, I get the impression that Utah's kind of we're really good friends, and I want to give you this one last. I've got you, I won, but because we're good friends as well, I like you. I let you have this moment, because he knows if he goes into that water, he's dead.
I'm so good at Swayze obviously passed on, bless him, because Point Break 2 could have been a possibility, because they could have said he was dead, lost in the waves.
Madge off Neighbours. Harold off Neighbours. My apologies.
When you see his glasses in the water. I remember that episode, you know. Yeah. Where is he? All of a sudden you see his glasses in the fucking water. And he comes back. Remember when he comes back years later? He comes back years later and he says to Luke Carpenter, "You called me Jelly Belly." I fucking remember.
You know, it's funny. I've got a video camera of me as a band.
Neighbours, what the fuck?
And in the background you've got Neighbours.
I love Neighbours.
Bizarre.
I did love Neighbours. What an end to an epic film. Johnny Utah.
Just quickly, the coppers are coming on them, gaining on them, aren't they? And then it goes, "Oh, we'll get him when he come out the water." And then Utah goes, "He's not coming out the water."
He's not coming out the water. He's fucking long bonds. He's good on fucking bracket. Good fucking film, mate.
Unreal.
Point Break.
Was that new one a second one, or just a remake?
No, that was the first one, the original. Oh, well, it was
2005.
The reboot. There was different elements of it. They did
Oh, it was 2005. Or was it 2015?
Maybe 15.
I think it was 15.
It's the same characters and that.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying. Was it a reboot?
But no, they deviated from certain scenes.
I watch it actually.
It's worth a watch.
So that's the film finished.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap for Point Break.
It's a wrap for Point Break. Fun facts. The facts I provided for you today were from Sean Hutchinson from mentalfloss.com. So thank you, Sean. I've already mentioned a few, but the few that I have mentioned are Charlie Sheen and Johnny Depp were actually the original choices for Johnny Utah.
No.
It was Charlie Sheen was the
I
other
think
one.
Broderick was considered as well.
Aye.
Broderick.
And then
Catherine
Bigelow, who obviously was married to James Cameron at the time, said, no, I want Keanu Reeves. So that's a kind of little fact.
Nice that when someone's got that fucking believability in you.
Aye,
you know what I mean?
Aye.
You think, oh, fucking
well, that's what do we call it? Michael had on Star on Lost Boys, didn't he? Because Michael got Star cast.
Lost Boys podcast, we did that one, yeah.
Have you ever seen Youngblood?
I've seen Young Guns.
Have you ever seen Youngblood?
Young Guns.
Youngblood?
Young Guns, Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez.
Basically, Youngblood was a hockey film that had Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze in together. I think it was Keanu Reeves' first film.
Was it?
Aye.
No way.
So I think that's something we should review one of the times. That was their first thingamajig. The ex-presidents, or the guys that were surrounding Patrick Swayze, were all pro surfers. They weren't actors who could surf. They were surfers who could act.
Class.
So that was the angle with it. So that's why they could all actually genuinely act. I've already mentioned about Swayze not featuring in the chase scene. I've already mentioned about Anthony Kiedis and the fact that he was Sly's son and fist. And Swayze's final jump, Adios Amigo, was actually Swayze's jump on the plane, which I've mentioned.
Class.
That is my fun fact. So, a little bit more correspondence we'll end on. Follow us, like us, retweet us, contact us on Twitter at B2BMoviePod or email us at b2bmoviepod@gmail.com or check us out on YouTube, Brother to Brother Movie 80s and 90s Movie Podcast. like, subscribe, hit that bell so you can be the first to know when a video has gone live. You can also check us out on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and all decent podcast vendors.
It's a wrap.
Alright, it's a wrap.
As excellent, be excellent to one another. Peace out.
Peace out.